Milo zipped through the dense woods, his tiny paws skimming over the crunchy autumn leaves. High above, the towering oaks swayed in the crisp breeze. He imagined what it must feel like to leap from the tallest branch, soaring like a bird. But every time he climbed too high, his paws trembled and he scampered down. Today, as he raced to the grand oak, he whispered to himself, "Maybe today I'll be brave enough." The grand oak loomed ahead, its trunk as wide as a cottage. Milo's best friend, Penny the bluebird, fluttered down to greet him. "Ready for the big leap?" she chirped teasingly. Milo laughed nervously, scratching behind his ear. "Well, see," he replied, though his stomach nodded just thinking about it. The woods buzzed with the excitement of an approaching festival, but Milo's thoughts stayed tangled around one thing: his fear of heights. At the festival, woodland creatures set up stalls with glowing lanterns, stacks of nuts, and woven flower crowns. Milo helped stack tiny pumpkins, careful not to look up at the dizzying treetop dance platforms. "One day, I'll join them," he muttered. His older brother, Theo, bounded by, leaping effortlessly between branches. "You've got to just do it, Milo," Theo called. But it wasn't that easy. Courage wasn't something he could just wish into his paws. Later that afternoon, Milo sat on a low branch, munching on a sweet acorn. He watched as Penny swooped in wide circles above the festival. "It's like flying," she called. Milo tried to imagine himself gliding through the air, scarf trailing behind him like a banner. He edged a little higher up the tree, but froze when the ground looked too far away. His heart thumped loudly. "Maybe tomorrow," he whispered. As night fell, storm clouds gathered over the woods. The festival lights flickered in the rising wind. Milo's bushy tail bristled. Penny landed beside him, her feathers ruffled. "We need to get home," she chirped. Milo raced her back toward their tree, the wind howling louder with every step. Branches whipped in the gusts, and leaves rained down like golden snow. Milo's cozy nest never looked so inviting, or so far away up the grand oak. Thunder rumbled and rain began to fall in heavy sheets. Milo's home was tucked high in a hollow branch, but the storm made every step treacherous. He hesitated halfway up, claws slipping. "I can't," he squeaked. Penny fluttered beside him. "You can, Milo, just one branch at a time." Gritting his teeth, Milo tightened his grip and climbed higher. Lightning cracked the sky, making the woods glow white. His scarf whipped wildly in the wind. Finally reaching his nest, Milo shoved a soggy leaf aside and scrambled inside. Panting, Penny squeezed through after him, dripping wet. "We made it," Milo gasped. The nest creaked as the grand oak swayed. Milo peeked out and saw water rushing over the roots far below. Other animals were stranded, unable to reach safety. Milo's heart twisted. He had made it. But what about the others? Fear gripped him tighter than ever. Across the clearing, a family of chipmunks huddled at the base of a tree, their eyes wide with fear. Milo saw them shiver as the water crept closer. No one else could reach them, not with the flooding. Milo looked at Penny. "Someone has to help them," he said. Penny tilted her head. "Someone brave." Milo gulped. "Someone like me," he whispered, hardly believing the words himself. His paws trembled, but he tightened his scarf and stood tall. Without thinking further, Milo scrambled out onto the soaking branches. Each step was a battle against the wind and rain. He leapt from branch to branch, his heart pounding. Below him, the swirling floodwaters roared. Penny flew ahead, guiding him with chirps and whistles. Milo focused on her bright blue feathers and pushed onward. He could be scared later. Right now, he needed to move. Courage wasn't the absence of fear. It was action despite fear. A broken branch blocked his path. Milo hesitated. It was a long jump to the next sturdy limb. His tail lashed nervously. He could almost hear Theo's voice. "You've just got to do it." Taking a deep breath, Milo bunched his muscles and sprang. For one dizzying moment, he soared through the storm, scarf snapping behind him. He landed hard but safely, scrambling up with a shout of triumph. "I did it!" Reaching the chipmunks, Milo barked to them urgently. "Follow me. We have to climb." The smallest chipmunk whimpered. Too frightened to move, Milo knelt down, nose to nose with him. "You can do it," he said gently. "I'll help." Carefully, he showed them where to place their paws. One by one, the chipmunks followed, clinging desperately as Milo led them up the slick trunk. The rain soaked them all, but they kept climbing. Halfway up, a fierce gust knocked the smallest chipmunk from the branch. Without thinking, Milo lunged. Grabbing the little one's scruff with his teeth, he hauled him back up, muscles straining. "Hang on," he cried. Penny swooped around them, shielding them from the rain with her wings as best she could. Milo didn't stop to think. He kept climbing, inch by inch, paw over paw, heart hammering louder than the storm itself. Finally, they reached a thick branch high above the floodwaters. Milo tucked the chipmunks close under a patch of leafy shelter. Penny zipped off to alert others. Milo collapsed beside them, gasping for air, legs trembling. He had done it. He had been brave, not because he wasn't scared, but because he didn't let fear stop him. The chipmunk snuggled against him, their tiny hearts thudding in time with his own. Morning broke clear and golden over the soaked woods. Milo blinked up at the bright blue sky, exhausted but safe. Below, the floodwaters had receded, leaving behind mud and broken branches. Animals began emerging from their hiding places, chirping and chattering. Theo bounded up, eyes wide. "Milo! That was incredible!" Milo's ears reddened under his fur. "I just did what needed to be done," he said softly. Word of Milo's bravery spread quickly. At the festival's reopening, Milo was honored with a crown of woven ivy and flowers. He stood on the lowest dance platform, heart hammering. Penny nudged him. "Go on," she chirped. Taking a deep breath, Milo bounded up to the next platform, and the next, until he stood high above the crowd. His legs shook, but his smile beamed brighter than the sun. Cheers rose from below, and Milo waved his tiny paws in delight. For the first time, the heights didn't feel scary. They felt exhilarating. He could see the whole bustling festival from up here. The stalls, the lanterns, and all the smiling faces looking up at him. Milo's scarf fluttered proudly around his neck as he hopped from platform to platform, light as a feather. Later, Penny found him perched on a branch overlooking the clearing. "You really did it." "Milo," she said, "you're the bravest squirrel I know." Milo chuckled, scratching behind his ear. "I was scared the whole time," he admitted. Penny fluffed her feathers. "That's what makes it real courage." Milo thought about that and smiled. He felt braver already. And he knew the next adventure wouldn't seem quite so daunting. The next day, Milo led a group of young squirrels in a climbing game. He showed them how to judge a branch strength, how to leap and land safely, and most importantly, how to believe in themselves even when they felt afraid. "You don't have to be fearless," he told them. "You just have to try." The little ones nodded, their eyes shining with excitement. Milo's scarf became a symbol of courage throughout the woods. Young animals tied bits of green cloth around their necks, copying him. Milo didn't seek the attention, but he accepted it with a bashful grin. Deep inside, he knew the truth. Courage was contagious. And maybe, just maybe, if he could be brave once, he could be brave again whenever it mattered most. Sometimes at sunset, Milo would climb to the highest branch of the grand oak. He would perch there quietly, watching the golden light spill across the treetops. The world didn't seem so big and scary from up here anymore. It seemed full of possibilities. And if a little squirrel with a fluttering green scarf could face his fears, maybe anyone could. One evening, as the stars blinked awake overhead, Penny joined him on his favorite branch. They sat side by side, the cool night air ruffling their fur and feathers. "What's next? Adventurer?" Penny teased. Milo grinned up at the sky. "Whatever it is, I'll be ready," he said. The stars seemed to wink at him in agreement. And so, in a forest where fear had once held him back, Milo found his wings, not the kind that birds have, but the kind that come from within. Every leap, every climb, every brave breath carried him closer to the squirrel he was always meant to be. Milo the brave. Milo the soaring. Milo, the heart of the woods. From that day on, whenever a storm rolled over the grand oak or a challenge arose, the animals would look for the flash of green, the darting chestnut fir, and know Milo would be there, leading not with fearlessness, but with courage. Always courage. And so ends the tale of Milo the squirrel, who taught everyone that bravery doesn't mean not being afraid. It means doing what's right even when your paws are shaking. And in a world full of towering trees and soaring dreams, that kind of courage makes all the difference.